Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. I'm giving up that new introduction to my videos. I was told by a viewer I simply cannot change. It's my signature and they look forward to it every time they watch my videos. And I don't want to disappoint, so I'm giving it up. But I am going to change my table. I am so tired of my table being dirty. I have been struggling and struggling ever since I've been making videos to try to keep my table clean. I've done literally everything in the world and nothing works. One of the reasons is I'm just a slob. Making dolls is not exactly clean work either. So, I am going to try these silicone baking mats. They're something you can wipe off instead of throw away every time. I'm just trying it out. I don't know how good it's going to be, or it may not be good at all. So, here we go. If I can get into it, I don't even know where my cutter is. I left it somewhere. Well, let's see if I can just dig a hole in this plastic with this. There we go. Ink pen. Okay. There's supposed to be 3 mats in here. 2 big ones and 1 small one. I hope they're not folded because I hate to try to deal with something that you have to get the wrinkle out where it was folded. So I don't know. We're going to see. But I've been struggling with this particular issue in my mind. It's worse than it is probably in person. But in my mind, I need to do something desperately bad about my table being so dirty. So, here we go. Yeah, it looks like it's folded. And they're not especially attractive, but they are silicone. And this is not supposed to be the kind of silicone that negatively reacts with vinyl. This is food grade silicone, so it's supposed to be different. Oh, wow. That one is really little, isn't it? These are super, super nice. They don't scoot around. Look at that. I'm not sure what I'm trying to accomplish here with something this little. I don't even know if I'll use it. Maybe I'll put it up here to lay my paint on. But I just need a neater table. So I thought if I put this down first, let's see. I'm super crowded here. That's one thing that makes it not so neat. Wow, I'm liking that. Of course, it might be wide enough this way. And I could put this one up there. I don't know. I'm going to be playing around with this for a while. I may have it in different configurations. But I watch other people reborning. They don't have the extreme conglomeration of stuff I have on my table. They just have something simple like this. And then they just fold up a paper towel and lay it down to blot their sponges on and stuff. They don't have elaborate, thick mats of stuff like I have. And I don't really spill that much paint. Watch me spill it now that I don't have any sort of a puppy pad down. I'm going to move this one because I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Oh, crap. And I think I'll turn these long ways like this and put them side by side. Yeah, we're going to try that. That looks good. Now, doesn't that look neater than what I had? And it's kind of down. You can move it, yes, but if you're like putting your arm on it and moving your arm, it's not going to come and stick to your arm and come off with like the paper towels do. And I do put my arms on the table like this, so I don't know. Now I'm going to try this new thing with just getting a paper towel down, or 2 or 3 like this, and just having it on the table to use to wipe on and a sponge on. You want to dab your sponge. Like that. I don't know if it's better. Is it better? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments if you think it's better. anyway, we're back to finish up Alyssa. She looks like this now. She's going to get her last coat, which is blush, all over her body. And we're going to get her back in the oven. This will be her last segment on the video. And we're going to get her videos loaded. I hope tonight. I'm going to try. I tightened up my my laptop, my tablet holder. The problem is these little joints in this tablet holder get loose. Every time you open it and close it or move it to a different angle or anything like that, you have to like stretch it apart to get the tablet out of it. And so when you're doing that, you're pressing against the arm and it will go down a little. And then when you try to raise it back up, well, it'll go back up. And you'll do it several times even. But then after a bunch of times of doing that, it starts to droop. And all you're seeing is like over here in this area of the table, way back there. And that's no good because you can't see what I'm doing. And, but anyway, I tightened them up. So hopefully that's going to last a while. I like to now take my tablet down and take it in the bedroom because when I start a video downloading, it usually takes several hours. We're talking 8 maybe. So I'll go to bed and it'll still be downloading, but sometime in the night it'll be finished. And I wake up several times in the night thirsty and stuff. So I can check it and go, oh, it's finished. I'll start another one right away, like that. And by doing that, I get more videos downloaded quicker. So anyway, I'm going to be putting the paint now on Alyssa. And we're going to be moving from Alyssa to either Paisley or Miranda. I'm not sure which one I want to do next. I'm probably going to do Paisley next. I'm real excited about doing Paisley. I really like her kit. She's a super cute little kit. And she still has to be baked 2 times. I haven't baked either one of them yet. I sealed them in another video. And so they'd be ready to bake when I was ready. And I guess I haven't gotten ready yet. After this doll, I'm throwing away all these sponges after Alyssa is finished and getting new sponges too. So you can use these several times on several different dolls, but then they get to the point where you're going, not again, you know. 2-3 dolls at least you can use them. And maybe more if you don't mind getting a whole lot of paint on your hands. Because this paint will liquefy again. It'll be super wet down here. And you'll be getting lots of paint on. I get enough on my fingers as it is. I got some burn marks on my wrist. And I think I have a few on my face too. But they're very mild. They're not serious. What happened was, I was going to make fried potatoes. And I put the grease on and was letting it get hot. And I hadn't put the potatoes in yet. And you know, they're kind of wet. Potatoes have, they have like fluid in them a little bit anyway. And after you cut them, some of that comes out, the starch and stuff, and it'll be on the outside of the potato. And I was getting ready to put them in the pot. And when I dumped them in the skillet rather, when I dumped them in there, it sparked up and the grease just splattered everywhere. It went all over my hands, and some of it even got up on my face. And oh man, it did hurt, but not severely. You'd think I'd have got a worse something. That's the worst ones I have is right there on my wrist, but the ones on my face are very, very, very mild. I don't even think you can see them. But you have to be careful with that when you're frying things, because that can happen, especially things that have moisture in them, like a frozen something. Say you're gonna put something frozen into some hot oil, it's gonna really sizzle, because what happens to frozen things is the warm air that might be in the bag turns into condensation, and it ends up like little ice crystals on the food. And then when you throw it into the grease, well, water and oil just don't mix, as you know. And so you're having a lot of splattering going on. And that's not good. Yeah, Alyssa will be getting some glue on her rims, her mouth. She'll be getting her pacifier magnet, and she will be waiting patiently for her hair. I'm still working on Presley. I don't intend to get in any hurry. When you get in a hurry, you get tired. And when you get tired, you make mistakes. Your rooting's not as good. You might think it is, but it's not. Go back and look at it the next day and you go, what was I thinking? How did I root like that? And you're pulling it out and everything, trying to make it better. Because tired hands don't do the same job as rested hands. And it's important to take breaks when you're rooting. That's one thing. When I'm rooting, I always take breaks. I try not to complete rooting in one day because it takes hours and your hands get super, super crampy. My hands cramp because I have arthritis, but even if you're young and your hands don't cramp up, they do get tired still. And like I said, tired hands are not going to perform the same tasks that rested hands do. Not as well. So even if you only walk away for, say, 1 hour or 30 minutes even, go have some dinner, get you a drink, take a bathroom break, whatever it is you need to do, and just walk away and do something else for 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Come back with fresh hands, and you will be surprised how much better you're rooting. If you're finding yourself not being able to get any hair in the head, or your rooting is pluggy looking, just whatever your problem is, and you've checked everything, my needle's good, my hair's good, everything's good, it's because you're tired probably. You tend to relax your hand too much and hold the needle at the wrong angle, all kinds of things. You'll break needles and everything when you're tired. This feels very foreign to me. I don't like the way it feels, but I'm going to try to work with it. I wanted to have something pretty on my table. Something that could... I looked at paperweights because I was thinking, if I could put a paperweight on the table to hold the paper towels from slipping around, that'd be awesome. But they just want so much for a paperweight. Just an acrylic, clear acrylic paperweight that has, say, flowers, dried flowers inside of it or something. I want a lot of money for that. I'm going, really? Is it made out of gold or something? Because that's awfully expensive. And I couldn't make myself buy it. So these were pretty, well, these were pretty cheap, these mats. And you can tell by they're not decorative. So they were pretty cheap. But I was thinking maybe I'd get something a little bit decorative maybe to put on my table somewhere to make it look a little bit better. I don't know. I just don't like the blandness of my table. People keep telling me, no, we're used to you being like you are. Don't change what you're saying. Don't change what you're doing. You know, you don't need to change the angle of your camera. You don't need to change your table. I don't know. But I did feel like I needed to have a cleaner table. I've always felt like that. And I'm always telling new artists when I'm saying, this is what you need to do. Number one, have a clean table. Because, you know, my stuff is just, I'm lazy. That's part of it, is I'm too lazy to put it back. I keep telling myself, just quit being so lazy and put everything back where you got it out from. I'll have a pile of paintbrushes on the table, 2 or 3 jars of paint, 2 or 3 doll heads, because I don't put things back. And then I'll have to stop and clean my whole table. I remember when I used to work. I worked in an office, I had a desk, and I performed many tasks for the company. One of them was the daily deposit. I worked at a grocery store. I had to make up the daily deposit and take it to the bank and deposit it. And so my desk was always cluttery. I had so much to do at one time. I became the queen of multitasking. I have to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And at the same time, I have to run the front end of the store. And by that, I mean, you had to make sure all the cashiers were doing their jobs right. All the sackers were doing their jobs right. If it got too busy, you were calling extra help up front. If people needed change or anything, you had to be the one to do it. And then I also had to run the service desk. I did so many jobs at that store. It's because of the way I was raised. My mother always taught me that if you're going to do a job, you do it right. You don't cut corners. You don't leave out stuff. You don't slack off. You become indispensable to the company. Otherwise, they don't really need you. So, okay, sound advice. I set out to do that. I decided I'm going to be the best darn employee they ever saw. So, of course, I took up more tasks. Oh, I can do that. Sure. Can you do this while you're doing your job also as well? It started out, there was always a manager up front. Always. There were several different managers and co-managers and assistant managers and night managers and shift managers and just bunches of managers. And there would always be one up front, and they were so-called watching the front end. And a certain manager decided he didn't really want to do it. He was the actual store manager. So when he was in charge of the front, he'd go, "Hey, Karen, can you watch the front while I run to the back to do this, this, and this?" "Okay, sure." He'd be gone 20, 30 minutes. He'd come back. Well, then it turned into hours. Then it turned into, he don't even come up front. I'm watching the front all day long. And you had to keep out an eagle eye, too. Because if it started getting backed up out there, I was supposed to run down there, get on a register, and help them. Now, if I couldn't do that, I was responsible to call somebody to do it. So, okay, I could do that. But it started to be a burden. It started to be, I can't get my job done because I'm having to do too much out front. Well, they're not changing their policy. You already took that job, so now it's yours, you know. So I had to bite the bullet and get through it. So then it's like, they started this thing where they wanted the registers audited. They wanted to make sure the cashiers weren't stealing things. They weren't pocketing some money or something and somehow covering it up when the day was over. I don't know what they expected. But I was supposed to go out there, randomly select a cashier and pull their drawer out, take it to the office, and there was this little report you could run that would tell you how much money was supposed to be in their drawer, and you count down their drawer and see if it's right. Then they started this thing where they wanted, during the day, no more than a certain amount of cash to be in a cashier's drawer. Okay. It's a nuisance is what it is. So you have to do what they called a pickup. You have to go out there to their drawer when they weren't busy, during a time when they weren't swamped with people, because you don't want to do this in front of people. And you'd have to go, "Okay, you have too much money in your drawer. I need $500 out of your drawer." And they'd give you $500, and you'd print out this little slip that told that you took $500 from their drawer. And it would reduce the amount of cash they were responsible for at the end of the day. And it was just a nuisance is what it was. And you'd have to do that several times a day for each cashier. Then they wanted the safe counted down 2 or 3 times a day. So I had to do that too. You had to balance the safe and make sure that you were accounting for every penny of money that was supposed to be in that safe. It's just never ending. Then there's the other things you're responsible for, like certain companies could charge items, and at the end of the month you had to send them a bill. So and we didn't have any computers at this time. Everything was done by hand. So I had to handwrite out a bill for each one of those companies that had something charged and send it to them. Meticulous record keeping by hand, all of it. So that was my job for most of my entire life. I worked at that grocery store. And finally I had enough. They took enough of my life, and I said, I'm not working anymore. I'm quitting. I stayed home, and I started babysitting kids. Well, one person's kids. She paid me pretty good. It allowed me, it wasn't like you make on a job or anything like that, but it allowed me to stay home. And we were like a 1.5 income family. They both had really, really high paying jobs, the mother and father of these two children. And I pretty much raised her kids. So, I mean, when I say I raised her kids, they were always at my house. There were no days they didn't come. And sometimes they stayed days at a time and didn't even go home. But she paid me well to do that. And it was almost like I had 4 kids then. So when I say I had 2 kids, but I raised 4, that's what I mean. And I did it for many years, and I also homeschooled my children. So when I say I know how to multitask, I ain't playing. I know how to multitask. That's why I can do things like work on 2 or 3 dolls at the same time and stuff like that. It's part determination, and it's part experience, and it's part just want to, I guess. But I'm gonna tip her nails now. I see other people tipping nails. They make it look so easy. And I struggle with it. And it's difficult to me because, well, one thing is I'm shaky. I'm not shaky because I have some, epilepsy or anything like that. It's like I'm old and old people's hands shake. And, oh, that's just ugly. It's hard for me to not be shaking when I'm about to swipe it across the nail. So I have to try to prop my hand and still keep the toothpick at the right angle. I was never able to do it with a brush. And I tried many of those brushes that are supposed to be great for stuff like that. I just couldn't do it. And so I saw an artist doing it with a toothpick, and I said, I think I'll try that. And that's what I did. I tried that. And so far, there's so much noise behind me, I think there's a carnival going on. Or something. I don't know why you thought that.
Because when I cook, I put the food away. And when I don't cook, I put the food away.
Okay.
Well, it's not right.
Well, why are you screaming at me? I'm recording.
Because your cavalier attitude.
Now I'm again afraid to put the pieces down on the table. There's no towel there, so I don't feel the same about putting them down. I don't know why. One thing is important if you're going to use a toothpick is to have some paint on the toothpick when you're trying to get it on there. I just got this idea earlier today. I wanted to tell y'all about it. Y'all know I don't like painting torsos. And one of the reasons is because of the baby parts. Ugh, blicky. And another reason is they're so difficult to put on the doll anyway. And I don't think they're very attractive. So I don't usually make them. I have a torso over here on my drying rack. I just put it over there to get it out of the way. It's not got any paint or any sealer or anything on it. And rather than throw it out, I thought I'd try something new. I noticed that there was a doll that Bountiful Baby sells that has a partial torso. It comes down and it looks like it's Joseph 3 months. If you've seen his big chubby torso, it has the whole chest. It fits over his body, just like it would if it was a full torso. But there's no anatomically correct parts. In fact, it stops just a little below the stomach. And on the back, you can see just a teeny bit of his butt crack. So that if you got it tucked in, you know, put the diaper on properly, it looks like the diaper's just drooping a little bit and his little booty sticking out. So I thought, I wonder, could I cut off this torso that I have and make one of those for a smaller doll? It would definitely be easier to put it on the doll because the bottom part would be open. See, one of the problems with putting the torso on happens when you're trying to get the arms and the legs attached to it. I will demonstrate with this torso. Sorry for the baby part showing. So when you put the body inside the torso, you have to have a certain amount of the arm opening sticking out this hole and the leg opening sticking out these holes, or you can't get the arms and legs on. Then once you get them on, the head part, the part up here at the top where the head would fit in, is sunken down so far into the torso, you have to pull and yank and pull, and you need to be 2 octopuses to get that on. You just need so many hands. And so I thought, well, if it was cut off, say, about right here, you could get it, the body down inside of it, get the arms on, the head on, stuff it from the bottom, and then put the, well, you can't stuff it from the bottom if you use a bountiful baby body, can you? Because they have, the holes are covered. You'd still have to stuff it up here. But the bottom of it would be sticking out where you could, like, attach the legs easily. Usually you can get 2 or maybe 3 limbs on pretty easily. But the rest of it is pretty hard. So I was thinking, since we've only used 27 minutes on this video, I might try to cut this torso. The very worst that's going to happen is it's not going to look good, and I'll use it for a technique test piece. Okay, I'm good with that. Let me see if I can find my scissors. Oh, here they are. Now, I really have no idea if these scissors are going to cut good on this torso. I might end up having to use a knife or something, you know, like an X-Acto knife or a cutting knife, you know. But my plan was to cut it like right here, where this little crease is right here, where the stomach ends, which would cut all of the leg part. The legs would not be in the torso itself. You could even cut it smaller than that, because if you put a diaper on this baby, it's going to come up to about right here. And if I had a diaper, I'd show you. I'd just put it on the torso and show you. And then on the back, it would also be cut straight across here. And what it would create is a torso that would go just on the upper part of the body, like Joseph's torso does. Except his comes down a little further to make it kind of show a little bit of his booty, but I don't care about that. And then I might actually like to paint torsos a little bit better. But anyway, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to cut this torso in a decent fashion. I'm first going to just cut it. I'm going to cut it a little longer than I really want it to see how the vinyl's going to cut. And then I'm going to try to cut it right where I want it. But anyway, here we go. Let's see what happens when I cut it. Oh, that cuts like butter. That just cuts. And you could leave it that long. That would work. But you have to decide where in the back you want to cut it as well. I'm just cutting it a little long because I don't want to cut too much off at a time. That's the reasoning behind this. So, there we go. It's cut off. It's not even or anything. It's cut kind of crooked, actually. But see now, if you had a body, let me get a body. Here's one. And it was stuffed up inside of here the right way, like it's supposed to be. This is the head part. See, it's very restrictive using a torso to begin with. Very restrictive. If you've never used one, you don't know yet the trouble you're going to have getting it on the doll. And here's the arm. See, it will come out this hole right here. And then the other arm would come out this hole right here. And it wouldn't be so hard to connect the arms on. It's really not. You can actually put the arms on. Well, you'd want to fasten the little zip ties before you start putting it through like this. But you can actually put the arms on before you even start stuffing it. And then this part would stick out the bottom, see? You're not trying to pull it through those two little holes because they're just right down here at the bottom. And you want to make sure the body's nice and straight inside of there. It's very, very difficult to put together a baby on a torso. But see, these are sticking out now and you wouldn't have as much trouble getting the legs attached. So, I'm thinking out loud here. So that's how it would work after you get, you know, everything ready to put together. But in the meantime, we want to make the straightest little cut we can. I'm thinking of cutting along these little indentations right here and making it sort of V-shaped in the back, and then just following it around like this and cutting it all the way around. It'll be a little bit beveled all the way around, so maybe that would work. I don't know. This is my first time to cut a torso, so we're going to see. So here we go. I'm just going to cut up a little bit to that. I want to cut on this little indentation. I don't know if you can see it. Right here where it indents. I want to cut all along that. Coming around this little edge right here. And then cut along this line at the bottom of the belly. And then cut across this right here. And come finish back around. So you won't see any of his booty. So, oh well. So here we go. I'm going to try that. And this may not work out well. So I'm not saying this is perfect. Because, like I said, this is just an experiment. If we don't ever go out on a limb, we never know what's out on that limb, right? We never really know what we can and cannot do. Since this wipes off, I'm going to draw a line. I can't see the indentation. When I start putting the scissors there, it kind of stretches out like that, and you don't see the indentation well enough. So I'm going to draw my line. And this wipes off completely. So you don't have to worry about, I'm going to leave some red marks on my doll. In fact, if I don't cut it off, I'll just wipe it off. This is a very good pen for mapping heads. Now, I don't know if I have no idea really if it would work for air dry, because air dry is totally different. If you start putting a bunch of water on your doll to try to take off these marks, you might be taking off paint. I don't really know. But this washes off with just water. Just water. So we're going to just kind of go like that. And I'm going to just cut on the red line. So here we go. Will it be perfect? It sure won't. Will it work? I hope so. It's kind of curvy. Trying to turn these scissors on this vinyl is kind of a curvy little attitude here. It might look a little bit jagged. But the jagged part's going to be inside the diaper. I just want to see if I can make something that can work good enough to be sellable. Really, that's what I want to do. Because I don't want a torso on any of my dolls. I like them soft and squishy and cuddly. You'd think I'd like a cuddle, but I don't like cuddles either because I don't like them big old gingerbread hands. And I don't really like their squishy arms either. Because I don't like it. I just don't like it. You can only cut a tiny bit because the point of these scissors are like punching right up here on the inside of this torso. So you only cut a little tiny bit before you readjust your scissors. Because the scissors do not want to make these bends. Now, if I had a file, I would smooth these edges. But you can see these edges aren't all that smooth. These are pretty smooth edges, I have to say. So, I will put this on a doll. I don't know which one. But I will advertise them as having a partial torso. And, of course, there will be pictures. So that people know what they're getting. Cut that off, it's in the way. And I will be reborning this torso with one of the dolls I'm reborning soon. Not Paisley, because she's 3/4. You can't put a torso. Well, you can. You can literally do anything you want to, but Paisley has 3/4 arms, which means too much of her cloth body would stick out. It's not like when you put the torso on the doll that some of the cloth body's not going to stick out anyway, because it will. It always does. And at one time, Bountiful Baby even advertised that it was normal for the cloth body to show. So I always put it in my listing when I list the doll that has a torso. This doll has a full vinyl torso, anatomically correct, male or female, whichever one it is. And then I also put, and it requires a cloth body underneath it, which shows, and this is considered normal. That way, if people don't like, well, I'm not fond of that little dip right there. I'm just going to cut that off. If people don't like that the torso's going to show, I mean the body's going to show, they don't have to buy the doll. But I want them to know ahead of time. I don't like it when people want to send dolls back. I don't like that at all. I don't think it's fair. I always put, please ask all the questions and look at all the pictures carefully and ask all the questions you feel like you need to before you buy the doll. I do want my customers to be happy. And if they don't like that they don't have a pacifier, or if they don't like that they do, I no longer can get the pacifiers out of the heads. That's one thing about super glue. It ain't letting go. Okay, I'm throwing all these pieces away. And this is what I have left now. I think it's pretty good. It's not perfect by any means, but it looks pretty good on the back. It's kind of rounded. Looks pretty good on the front, kind of rounded. And I believe I could work with that little torso. Y'all tell me what you think of my new and improved torso. If you think it's stupid, say so. If you think I ruined it, say that too. I just want to hear what you have to say. And I'll be sealing this torso soon and probably baking it so I can use it on a doll. I am super happy with that. No, I just am. But anyway, it's going to go on a doll. I just don't know which one yet. One thing you have to figure out when you're trying to put a torso on a doll is it wouldn't do for Alyssa either, because look at her. Well, actually, it probably would. Her limbs fit right in there. Look at that. I was going to say her limbs are too small, but they're not. It's for a 19-inch doll. I'm not sure what size Alyssa is, but it would work for her evidently. But I'm not going to put it on her. She's already painted. I want to paint it along with the doll so it would be the same color. Even if I went back and painted it now, it probably would be a little different. And it might anyway, because it's a different kit. So the vinyl between different kits looks a little bit different, because you can look at Paisley. You might not can tell on camera. This is Paisley. She's sealed, but she's not baked. And this is Miranda. She's sealed also and not baked. They look a bit different, their vinyl does. So if you took parts from Paisley and gave them to Alyssa, there would be a slight difference in the way that they paint it, because they're different doll kits and their vinyl is different. But it wouldn't be drastic. And this one went to either Harper or Maddox. I don't know which one. But it's also a little different. So it's a little pinkishy, orangier. I don't know, slight. The differences are very slight in Bountiful Babies kits. Now, in the kits you get from one company and the kits you get from another company might be more different. More drastically different, rather. I don't really know why they have different colors, or why they have different consistencies, why some feel thick and some feel thin. I don't know. It's just something in the way they mold them and the different vinyls that they use, I guess. Additives they put in it, I don't know. But I just know that some kits that they used to have, and Paisley's one of them, they used to have different vinyl. She used to be a pinker color. Now she's more of a grayish, whitey color. I don't know. But she is an original kit, I can tell. And she's got all the right markings on the back of her. She's not a knockoff. And she was in a Bountiful Baby bag with a Bountiful Baby tag on it. So I'm fairly sure she's an original. But like some of the kits that they're bringing back that they had discontinued in the past, they also have different vinyl now. Sometimes they'll bring back a kit. I'm going to use Emmy as an example. Way long time ago, and this was a long time ago, when I first started reborning, Emmy was a discontinued kit. They didn't even have her, and they had Emmy Toddler. That's the only one they had. And she's about a 2-year-old, I guess. I don't know. She's about, I would say, the same size as Charlie. Somewhere along that size. I don't really know exactly what her length, was, but it was close. But in the discontinued kits, you could see her kit in there. And I was going, wow, she was a cute kit. And then all of a sudden, after I'd been reborn in maybe 5 years, I don't know, they brought her back. But this time, instead of having full limbs, she had those little 1/4 limbs. I think they were trying to differentiate between her previous original run, when she was a different kit, to the kit that she was now. It was her second edition, I guess you'd call it. And sometimes they'll take a kit and they'll discontinue it, and when they bring it back, they make it a different size. Like instead of an 18-inch baby, and now it's a 20-inch baby. Or instead of a 20-inch baby, it's now a preemie. So they do things like that. I don't know why. There was this one doll named Kinsley, I can't remember which one. But I got a hold of one of her kits from a lady who had some really old kits one time. I didn't know who the doll was because it didn't say on her rim. I knew it was a Bountiful Baby kit. It had Bountiful Baby on it and a code number. So I messaged Bountiful Baby, sent them a picture of the rim with the code number on it and the fact that it said Bountiful Baby on it, and a picture of the baby's face. Who is this doll? They came back with Kinsley. I think it was Kinsley. Oh, and I said, she's been multiple different sizes, different times we've brought her back. That looks like one from, I don't remember what year they said, because of the size of the doll. And, okay, I traded it. I sold it in a box of stuff I didn't want, because she wasn't an attractive kit to begin with, and she was 3/4, and I just didn't like her. And but she was in a group sale. I got her in a group sale. And I recently made a group purchase that has Celeste in it. I love Celeste kit. And it has another Emmy in it. It had Oh, don't make me lie. Let me just look. I ordered it. I tried to get the lady to break. She had 3 different lots. One had 5 kits and the other 2 had 4 kits. I guess she thought the ones with 4 kits were more valuable kits because she had them all priced the same. Whether they had 5 or 4 in it, it didn't make any difference. But the one I want, the dolls that I wanted, was 2 out of the group I bought, and 1 out of one other group and 1 out of another group. This particular group right here, I didn't buy this kit. This group, I wish I had more money. I would buy it. This one has got Emma. It's not Emmy, it's Emma. She's a discontinued kit, and I made her recently. It's also got Leaf and Macy. Macy is the more rare of the Bountiful Baby twins, Macy and Maya. Now, they are bringing Macy back, but the price of these kits make them, let's see, $37.50 each, about. And Alyssa. Alyssa's also in this group. But she would have been an Alyssa from before, I'm sure. Anyway, and then this other group that I also didn't buy has it has Charles sleeping. I love his kit too. It also has a Macy and a Emma. And this other doll kit is, gee, I don't want to lie. It looks like Mary. I don't think it's Mary, but it looks like Mary. Let me see. Oh, it says Macy, Charles, Emma, and Kelsey. Charles? None of those look like Charles to me. Okay, maybe it is though. All right, doesn't matter. And the one I bought, let me find it. The actual one I bought had 5 kits. And it has, well, if I can bring it up, sometimes you can bring it up and sometimes you can't. This one has kits you can get from Bountiful Baby right now. Precious Gift, Celeste, Anna Sleeping, Cheyenne, and Newborn Emmy Asleep. I wanted Celeste and Emmy out of that group. I wanted Leaf out of that other group. And Emma out of one of those groups. But she wouldn't break them up and redo them. You have to buy them the way they are. And I know she did that on purpose because you can get Anna Asleep and Cheyenne and Precious Gift all day long at Bountiful Baby. But I wanted them other 2 kits, so I didn't pay that much each kit. It wasn't like that. It wasn't that expensive. But, and they're not on sale at Bountiful Baby, so Bountiful Baby would have a higher price. But that's what they do a lot of times, is they group up some desired kits with some not so desired kits, so you have to buy all of them. That way they get to sell the ones that wouldn't sell very well. But anyway, I can resell the other kits, or I can make them. I can donate babies out of them. I can put them in gift boxes. I can do a lot of things with them. It's not like they're going to go to waste. But I just really didn't want them. So let's put it that way. But I am getting Celeste. I love Celeste. She has beautiful limbs. I have a Maggie in the bedroom, and I gave her Celeste limbs. And all the Maggies and Maddoxes I have in the bedroom, I have, well, it's Maddox that has the Celeste limbs. I didn't get a Celeste, I don't think. I just had Celeste limbs. I don't know where they came from. I have a friend that was reborning. She's not reborning now. But we did a lot of trading with kits and limbs, and she didn't like 3/4 limbs. And Celeste has 3/4 limbs. I freaking don't care. I love those limbs. They're chunky and cute, and the hands are just so amazingly beautiful. And I wanted those limbs, so I traded her some full limbs for them. I think they were Charles's. And she was going to put it with her Celeste baby because she don't like 3/4 limbs. So anyway, long story short, I got the Celeste limbs, and I put them on Maggie. And then I have a Celeste, and she has Celeste limbs as well. But all of my Maggie / Maddox dolls have alternate limbs. None of them have Maggie Maddox limbs, because I don't like those limbs. They're too skinny for that big chunky head, I think. And I don't like the weird way that he's holding his fingers like real bent back like that. I don't like it. So the one that I sent to Regina to Reborn has got Tracy, Cutie, Crystal. They all share limbs. It's got these nice fat chunky limbs, and they just make the doll look so much cuter when they have cuter limbs. And I have one Maddox that has Celeste limbs, and then I have a Maggie, and she's got I don't know whose limbs she's got. But I have another 2 Maggie / Maddoxes in the closet over there, and they have alternate limbs as well. I've already traded out their limbs and given away or something to the Maggie Maddox limbs. I don't like them. But long story short, that's something you can do. You can always trade out limbs. It's always nice. If you see Bountiful Baby having a limb sale, and I'm not talking about what they're doing now. They used to sell Maya limbs, Leaf limbs, Charles limbs, and there would be a pair of arms, $10 or $8. Real reasonable. I'd snag up a few of them because I always like to switch out limbs. If I'm making Charles awake and Charles asleep as twins, I don't want them to have exactly identical hands and feet. So I'll switch them out with another doll. And some dolls, I really like their limbs. And so I'll switch them. If I already have the doll, I don't know, just pull a doll out of your head. Let's go with Dominic. If I already have a Dominic in there on my shelf, but I like his limbs, then I might take the limbs from another doll and switch them with Dominic's and give the second Dominic alternate limbs, so the other Dominic will have different limbs from the Dominic I already have. And then, you know, like that. It's no big deal as long as you're matching limbs that are not too big or too small with the doll. And oh my, sometimes I really like a sculpt like Lucy. I really like Lucy. She has 3/4 limbs. Sometimes I already have a Lucy with 3/4 limbs. I wanted one with full limbs. They had to cancel my Walmart order due to seller issues. Okay, I gotta know what was not coming. Can I please know what's not coming? They didn't seem to send that. They just sent that they're canceling part of my order. Oh, I can't stand it when people do stuff like that. Sometimes things take so long to come, they actually get the idea that they're not going to come. So they'll cancel them. Let me go to account history. I got to know what they canceled. I'm always looking for bargains. I mean, sometimes I'll go on Walmart.com. You know, it's just an app. You order and it comes to your door. And they broker deals. Oh, they cancel. Oh, man. Okay, it got canceled. I ordered this cute little, and I ordered it to go in a box that well, it's not going to come up, I don't think. Is it going to come up? Maybe. I ordered it to go in one of the boxes for a prize. It's a nice wooden, well, that's not it. A nice wooden paintbrush holder. And it's not going to come. Okay. So whoever was going to get that, I don't know who was going to get it. Sorry, you're not going to get it now because it's not coming. I've ordered several other little things that are going to come. So, okay. We don't have to worry about that. But I try to look for bargains all the time. So sometimes I'm scrolling through there and I'll see baby doll they're baby outfits. They're not baby doll outfits. And they'll be real cheap, like $4, and they'll be super cute. And I'll order them, and sometimes they run out of the size I want before they ever get to filling my order, and I don't get them. So that could be what happened with these. They sold too fast, and as they were filling orders, they realized, oops, we don't have any more left, you know. And that happens sometimes, and it's okay. But that's how I get most of the prop outfits I get. I just scroll through the different sites all the time looking for bargains. Bargains, bargains, bargains. I'm a cheapskate, and I'm not going to pay regular price for nothing if I can help it. And so I look and look and look and look. And if I see something, like I recently bought these little dresses, newborn, well, they're 0 to 3 months. They're a little big on some of the dolls, and on some of them they fit pretty good. But they're size 0 to 3 months. Almost all baby clothes now, they hardly have anything cute in newborn anymore. Because they stay newborn so little bit of time, they only make sleepers and onesies and pajama-y looking things. Nightgowns and, you know, a few little things come in newborn. And everything else is now starting to come in 0 to 3 months. So most people dress their dolls anyway with clothes that are a little too big. I don't know why. It makes them look more newborn, I guess. But anyway, they had these really cute little dresses in several different colors and styles. They were $4 a piece. And they had leggings or knee-high socks, little ruffly knee-high socks, so cute. I ordered one of each color, and some came and some didn't. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't always get everything you order, but if you don't try, you don't get nothing. I ordered a bunch of onesies. When I donate dolls to the nursing home, they go in onesies. I don't give them the prop outfits because they're too... If you give away all your outfits, you don't have anything to dress your dolls in to take pictures. So I don't do that. Now, if a person pays the asking price for my doll, I don't give them a discount. Whatever it is, $300, $400, $500, depending on which kind of doll it is. If they do that, they get the outfit. Otherwise, it's coming off and they're going home in something a little cheaper. Now, that's because, once again, you sell a doll. Let's say you have your doll for $300, okay? And you're just not moving any inventory. You have 5 or 6 dolls and they're $300 a piece. But they're not moving, and you need a cash flow real bad. Your rent's due or something. Some emergency came up or something happened where you just need to sell some dolls pretty quick. So you go, I'm going to put them on sale. I'm going to drop them to $200. And they start selling, boom, 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 boom. And every one of them's going home in the outfit you photographed them in. All 10 dolls, that's 10 outfits gone. And you're $100 down on each doll. And let's say the outfit costs $15. That's another $15 you don't have because you have to buy another outfit now. So, no can do. I don't do that. If you're getting a discount, you're getting a cheaper outfit. That's just the way it is. You're not getting the prop outfit, what I call the prop outfit. It's really cute. Whether it costs $1 or $25, it doesn't make any difference. It's my prop outfit, and I'm not giving it to you unless you're paying full price for the doll. That's just the way I do it. They get the pacifier that I set their magnet with so that it fits the doll right. They get an outfit, whatever I choose. It could be a onesie outfit. It could just be a onesie. It could be a onesie dress. It could be, I don't know. You pick. It could be a romper. It could be anything. Some things are a little bit cheaper than other things, like a sleeper sometimes. Like when it's changing seasons and they're going to those thinner sleepers because it's not winter anymore. They make those real fleecy ones for the wintertime to keep the baby warm. But now it's changing to spring, and they're putting out all their spring stuff, and they're putting all those sleepers on the clearance rack for $2 or $1. You buy up a bunch of them, send dolls home out. It doesn't matter if they're all the same. It doesn't matter. Because it's an entire sleeper. And some people only dress their dolls in sleepers anyway. What's the difference? And so it doesn't matter what you paid for it. It's brand new and it looks good and it's crisp and fresh looking. It doesn't have any smells or stains on it. A fine outfit to me. And now Dominic, you saw me dress him. He went home in a boutique outfit. I'm going to tell you that outfit was not cheap. At all. No discount on that outfit. But, you know, when somebody gets a doll from you special like that, you want the doll to look special, you know? It's, it's an experience more than it is you just got a doll. When they open it up, they want to feel that experience. And yeah, you can have a box open, and if you pay regular price for my doll, I'll give you an experience too, you know? But if you're getting a big discount like that, you're not getting no experience. You're getting a doll. That's just the way I do it. And everybody's entitled to do it any way they want to. And so, you know, I've turned this 30-minute video into an hour by talking. I talk way too much. Okay, out of Miranda and Paisley, the two dolls I said were possibilities for my next doll. Which one did I say I was probably going to do first? If you can answer that, go to my Facebook Messenger. Please don't answer it on YouTube, and please don't answer it in the Facebook feed. I probably won't see it. Sometimes I stumble across one, not always. Go to my Messenger. It's Karen Alyssa, and it's the one with the yellow star. And put your answer there. And I'll give you a thumbs up after I've read it, indicating that I'm putting an entry in the box. And I believe today's the 12th. It might be the 13th. No, it's just the 12th, because tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Lucky, lucky day, Friday the 13th. But still plenty of days left. 16 days today. Tomorrow will be 15 days to get your activities done, to get your name in the box more and more and more and more times. And everybody is really stepping that up. I want you to know. It is, at this point, anybody's ball game. Once I announced that Jennifer was in first place, people just started jumping on it like crazy. I've got people wanting to donate dolls. I've got people doing just all kind of things. You know, donating a doll will get you 10 entries. Because it's a big thing, you know. Dolls do cost money, and you have to paint them, and, you know. But it's a charitable thing. And it's so worth it. I'm willing to give you 10 entries to do it. If you want to donate 2, that's 20 entries. 3, that's 30 entries. Just experience it one time, donating a doll. It's such a rewarding feeling. I sometimes will pick up extra kits when they're really cheap. You know, at one time they were selling them for $19. For heaven's sakes, $19.99. Pick up 2 of the kit instead of 1. Make one for the nursing home. You can pick closed-eyed kits because you don't have to get eyes. You can pick cheaper bodies. These people do not care. You could take the kit and paint it one flat color. You know, as long as it has a skin color on it, they don't care. They don't care if it has any blush. They don't care if you painted the fingernails a different color. They don't care. They just want a doll. They love them. They kiss them. They hug them. They sleep with them. They carry them around with them. It's their baby. At one time when Walmart was changing from having a full sewing department, fabric department, or whatever you call it, over to what they have now, they were putting a lot of their fabrics that were still on bolts that you could buy by the yard on a huge discount. You could get a beautiful piece of fleece fabric that you could make your own fleece little baby blanket out of, or whatever. And it would be really, really cheap. I'd buy a yard of it, I'd cut it in half and make 2 baby blankets, and I'd wrap every baby up in a baby blanket. It was like $1, seriously, $1 for that half a yard. And so every baby had a gorgeous baby blanket. And I mean gorgeous. And tied them up with a ribbon, took them to the nursing home, and put them in the elderly people's arms. They cried. They thanked you. They wanted to kiss you. They wouldn't let them do that. They don't let them hug you and kiss you because you might have a sickness and you might get them sick. And but anyway, they want to. They try to. And they were just, you just can't know. You can't know what a difference it makes until you do it. I recommend you go in, talk to the activities director. Usually at every nursing home I've ever donated to, it was the activities director. who was in charge of making sure the residents got a doll. Talk personally to that person. If you have to call ahead, do so. And tell them, I want to go around and give out the dolls. They'll make arrangements. You get there, say you have 5 dolls. They will have pre-selected 5 people. I ask them to pre-select. You can't tell sometimes who has the worst dimension, who doesn't. So I asked them, please pick the people most in need. Okay, I've selected 5 people. The dolls were wrapped up. They were in a box or something, so the other residents could not see what was being delivered to these people's rooms, so they wouldn't go, where's mine? Because that's heartbreaking. And we went around, and I handed out the dolls. And oh my goodness, you wouldn't even believe. You wouldn't believe these people. They were so thankful, so happy, so it just made a light come on inside of them. These people who had a dim light on for so long just got a bright light all of a sudden. They perked up. They perked up. They started loving on their baby immediately. Some of them were actually in disbelief that I wasn't going to take it away from them when I left. They just couldn't even believe they were going to get to keep it. It was like, you mean I get to keep it? It's mine? Yeah, it sure is. It's a feeling you'll never forget. You'll never forget the looks on their faces, the smiles, the thankfulness. I'd 100 times rather give a doll to the nursing home for free than take a paltry, cheap amount because somebody's a cheapskate and doesn't want to pay for a doll. It's just, the difference is night and day. One makes you feel bad, one makes you feel good. And that's why I put, a lot of times when I'm reducing dolls down, I'm going, okay, these are bargain dolls. This is their last chance to sell. If you don't buy them at this price, they're going to the nursing home. And then people start saying, well, if you're going to donate them anyway, why don't you donate one to me? No, I don't do it that way. I want to donate them to people that I choose. I want to make sure that I don't tell them this. I just say, no, I can't do that. And but I want to choose the people in need. I want to make sure they're actually in need and they're not just a cheapskate. And to me, there's a big difference. Somebody who just goes, well, I don't know. Well, if you can't buy it at this price, you're never going to buy it. You're never going to buy it because it's not going any cheaper. I would rather take it down and give it to the nursing home than go any cheaper. Can't go any cheaper. That's what I tell them. Well, you're going to donate them. So, that's charitable. That's different. And they act like, can't you be charitable to me? I'm low on money, but I want a doll. Well, if you're that low on money, you don't need a doll. And I have had a couple of people, like I said before in another video, who never really asked me to do anything. Like the one lady who went to the hospital, she'd bought Spencer. And she went to the hospital to have her surgery, and she had it, and she met this old lady that was much older than her and had dementia. And she gave Spencer to him. And she said, I need another doll now because I gave away Spencer. You gave away Spencer? He's supposed to be your forever baby. And she told me the story. And it just touched my heart so much. She didn't ask for anything. She just wanted me to recommend a doll similar to, she liked that he was 3/4 because he was soft and squishy, And she wanted another doll similar to him. She was asking questions about the dolls. And so I said, okay, you pick the one you want, and I'm going to make you a deal you can't refuse. Okay. So after she picked it, I said, I sent her a offer. See, eBay won't let you get their address or anything if there's no sale. So I sent her an offer for $1. And because I wanted to give her the doll. And because she did such a charitable thing, And so she picked the doll, and I sent her an offer for $1. Cha-ching, she bought it, and I sent it to her. And see, I want to be charitable that way. Because I chose to be charitable to her because her story touched my heart. She didn't ask me to give her anything free or even a further discount. She did not ask. All she did was ask, does this one have this and does this one have that? She just wanted to know. And yes, that one has a pacifier. Yes, that one has a COA. Whatever she was asking, you know. And her story just touched my heart, and I just couldn't help it. I just needed to do something for that lady. I felt it in my heart. And that's the way I want to be charitable. How about you? What way do you want to be charitable? Drop it down in the comments how you feel about donations, how you want to be charitable, whether or not you think you can donate a doll. And I'm telling you, you don't have to pull off any bells or whistles on these dolls. They can be just a very basic paint. We're talking you get finished today painting it. Literally. Because it might sound kind of cruel for me to say this, but these people don't have long. Most of them are in their late 80s, early 90s, and you know, when you're that old, you could go anytime. So it's not like the doll needs super longevity, because chances are they're either going to give it to the family when the person dies, or they're just going to throw it away. I don't think they give them to alternate patients for germ reasons. I don't know. Could there be some germs involved there? I don't know. But sanitary reasons, yeah. But they don't have to be super fantastic. They don't have to have super meticulously rooted hair and rooted eyelashes. They don't even need eyelashes, because lots of people, elderly people, would try to pull them off. And they don't even need hair. They can be completely bald. It doesn't make any difference. They can be open-eyed, closed-eyed, boy, girl, big, little, fat, skinny, black, white. They don't care. They don't care. So think about it. Can I donate a doll? What doll could I donate? Could I paint it up real fast and put it on a cheap body? Wait till bodies are dirt cheap. You don't have to even put any weight in them. They don't care if they're teddy bear weight. They can be completely teddy bear weight. And it's fine. They can be cuddle bodies. If you don't like cuddle babies, but you have cuddle bodies, save your limbs, make a cuddle baby. They don't care. They'll love it the same. But anyway, long story short, I've made this video way too long. So I'm going to ask everybody to please like, subscribe, and share. And you already have your question, so happy reborning.